She said, "I'm only with you until someone better comes along." I said, "Fair enough." Then I started dating her best friend. The screaming voicemail she left when she saw us at her favorite restaurant. I, 29 male, had been dating Brooke, 27, for about 11 months when she dropped that bomb on me. We were having drinks at her place after I'd spent the entire day helping her move into her new apartment. My back was killing me from carrying her unnecessarily heavy furniture up 3 flights of stairs. She was scrolling through Instagram, double-tapping photos of guys from her CrossFit class when she just said it. Casual as hell, like she was commenting on the weather. "You know I'm only with you until someone better comes along, right?" I was mid-sip of my beer. Put it down slowly. "What?" She didn't even look up from her phone. "I mean, you're sweet and all, but let's be real. You're not exactly my endgame. You're more like a comfortable placeholder. Someone to split dinner bills with and have around for couples events." The crazy part? She said it with zero malice. Like this was a totally normal thing to tell someone. "You're a solid 6, maybe 7 on a good day," she continued. "I need at least a 9 for marriage material. Someone with actual ambition. Maybe someone who doesn't work in IT support." I stared at her for a good 10 seconds. Then I said, "Fair enough." She finally looked up, surprised. "Really? You're not mad?" "Nah, thanks for being honest." She smiled and went back to her phone. "See? This is why you're good for now. No drama." That night, I went home and did some serious thinking. Not about whether to break up with her. That ship had sailed the moment she called me a placeholder. But about how to handle this with the same casual energy she'd brought to destroying our relationship. Then I remembered something. Her best friend Daphne had recently mentioned she thought I was one of the good ones when Brooke was complaining about me not making enough money. Daphne had actually defended me, said income didn't determine someone's worth. Interesting. 3 days later, I ran into Daphne at the coffee shop near my work. Not exactly a coincidence. Brooke had mentioned Daphne always studied there on Thursday mornings for her grad school classes. "Hey, Jeremy?" She waved me over. "How are things?" "Good. Just grabbing coffee before work." I paused. "Actually, can I ask you something weird?" She raised an eyebrow. "Sure." Brooke told me she's basically using me as a placeholder. Like, she straight up said I'm temporary until she finds someone better. Daphne's face went through about 5 different emotions. She actually said that to you?" Word for word. "That's so messed up. I'm sorry, Jeremy. You deserve better than that." "Thanks, I'm handling it. But here's the thing, I'm not really upset about it. More freed, I guess. Like, now I know where I stand, I can make my own decisions without feeling guilty." She nodded slowly. "That's actually really mature. Would you maybe want to grab dinner sometime? As friends first, obviously. I know this is complicated with Brooke and everything." She bit her lip. "You know what? Yeah. She clearly doesn't value you, so why should I protect her feelings? But Jeremy? If we do this, I need to know you're not using me to get back at her." "I'm not. I've actually always thought you were the more interesting one between you two. You're working on your PhD, you volunteer at the animal shelter. You actually read books that aren't just Instagram captions." Brooke just happened first. That Friday, we had dinner. Nothing fancy. Just a Thai place downtown. We talked for 3 hours. She told me about her research on renewable energy. I told her about the app I was developing in my spare time. We laughed about how Brooke once tried to return a dress she'd worn to 4 different events because the store should have a rental option. I didn't hide anything from Brooke. When she texted asking what I was doing that night, I told her I was having dinner with a friend. Technically true. Update 1. Holy crap, you guys were right. The entitlement is real. So Daphne and I kept hanging out. Coffee here, lunch there, always in public, always appropriate. We weren't even holding hands or anything, just genuinely enjoying each other's company. Meanwhile, Brooke was escalating her search for my upgrade. She'd started bringing guys she met at the gym to my apartment when I was at work. My neighbor told me. She had a key, my first mistake, and apparently told these dudes it was basically her place too. But here's where it gets wild. Last Tuesday, Brooke calls me at work. "We need to talk about boundaries, okay? I don't appreciate you hanging out with Daphne behind my back." "It's not behind your back. I told you I was hanging out with friends." "She's my friend, Jeremy. It's weird. You need to stop. I thought I was just a placeholder. Why do you care who I'm friends with? Because it makes me look bad. What are people going to think if my boyfriend is hanging around with my best friend? That your placeholder is making friends? She hung up on me. 20 minutes later, I get a text from Daphne. Brooke just called me screaming. She says I'm betraying her by talking to you. Then Daphne sent me screenshots of Brooke's texts to her. You're supposed to be my friend. He's literally nothing special. Why would you even want to talk to him? I'm trading up soon anyway, but until then, he's mine. You're jealous because you can't get your own boyfriend. This is so pathetic, Daph. That last one did it for Daphne. She called me immediately. You know what? I'm done protecting her feelings. Want to go to that Italian place on Monroe Street tomorrow night? Like an actual date? Monroe Street, where Brooke's favorite restaurant is. The one she goes to every Saturday with whoever she's trying to impress that week. You sure? Completely. I'm tired of walking on eggshells around her ego. Update 2. I need to paint you a picture of Saturday night because it was absolutely unhinged. Daphne and I arrive at Foresteria, not Brooke's favorite place, but 2 doors down. We're not monsters. We're having a great time. Daphne's wearing this green dress that makes her eyes pop. We're laughing about how her professor accidentally shared his screen during a Zoom lecture, and everyone saw his hot singles in your area pop up. Then I see Brooke walk past the window with my coworker Marcus from IT. The same Marcus she once called that creepy neckbeard guy when he fixed her laptop. She's clearly on a mission to find someone from my life to date, probably to prove some weird point about being able to get anyone she wants. Marcus looks uncomfortable as hell, keeps tugging at his collar. They go into her favorite place. We keep eating. Life is good. 15 minutes later, Brooke must have gone to the bathroom or something because suddenly she's standing at our table. Her face is the color of a tomato having a panic attack. What the actual f? Hey Brooke, Daphne says calmly, taking a sip of her wine. How's your night? You're on a date? With my boyfriend? Placeholder, I correct. Your word, not mine. This is so messed up, Daphne, how could you? The entire restaurant is staring now. Daphne stands up and I've never seen her this composed. Brooke, you literally told him he's temporary. You bring random guys to his apartment. You called him a solid 6 to his face. What exactly are you upset about? He's mine until I say he's not. Actually, I pull out my phone. According to your text yesterday, I'm barely worth keeping around for Netflix passwords. So I figured I was basically single. You went through my phone? No, you sent it to me by accident. You meant to send it to. I check. Someone named Jim Brad. The manager appears. Is there a problem here? Brooke points at us. They're trying to humiliate me. Ma'am, you're the one yelling. I need you to return to your table or leave. She storms back to Marcus, who I can see trying to become one with his chair. Poor guy. 10 minutes later, my phone starts blowing up. The voicemail. Guys, I've saved it because it's art, you pathetic little worm. You think you're clever? You think you can just upgrade yourself with my best friend? She's only with you to piss me off. Nobody actually wants you, Jeremy. You're boring. Your job is boring. Your face is boring. Your death crash. Get out of my way, Marcus. You ruined everything. I was gonna dump you next month anyway, but now it looks like you won. This isn't over. I'm gonna make your life hell. Daphne's too. You think you know me? You have no idea what I'm capable of. I have your Netflix password. The voicemail cuts off. Apparently, there's a time limit. Daphne listened to it with me. We laughed until we cried. She has my Netflix password? I said between gasps. That's her big threat? Update 3. So remember when Brooke said she knew what she was capable of? Turns out that meant some genuinely bonkers stuff. First, she tried to get me fired. She called my work pretending to be a concerned client, claiming I'd been inappropriate during a service call. Problem? I work internal IT support. I don't have clients. My boss called me into his office looking confused. Jeremy, do you know someone named Veronica Sterling? No? She called claiming you made inappropriate comments during a house call last week. Dave, I haven't left the office in a month. I've been working on the server migration. He laughed. I know. I told her she had the wrong company. she started screaming about knowing the CEO personally. Our CEO is your brother-in-law. Exactly. He's never heard of her either. Strike one. Then she tried to sabotage Daphne's PhD defense preparation. She called Daphne's advisor claiming Daphne had plagiarized her thesis from Brooke's blog. Her lifestyle blog where she posts about matcha Mondays and why I stopped wearing beige. The advisor called Daphne in, absolutely baffled. Your friend seems to think you stole her intellectual property about sustainable energy solutions from her post about eyebrow threading? Daphne had to explain the whole situation. The advisor actually felt bad for us and offered to write a cease and desist if needed. Strike two. But the peak insanity came when she recruited her mom, Patricia. Patricia started showing up at my apartment building at 7 a.m., sitting in the lobby, telling anyone who'd listen that I was a homewrecker who seduced her daughter's best friend with lies. My 80-year-old neighbor, Margaret, shut that down quick. Listen here, Patricia, Margaret said on day 3 of this nonsense. That boy helped me with my groceries every week for 2 years. Your daughter brought different men here every time he worked late. We all saw it. Now get out before I call my grandson. He's a lawyer. Patricia left and never came back. But Brooke wasn't done. She created a whole Instagram account, @JeremyTheSnake, posted photos of me she'd taken while I was sleeping, creepy much, with captions like, "This is what a manipulator looks like," and "Beware ladies, he'll steal your friends." 14 followers. Most were bots. Daphne made a counter account, @Brooke the entitled X. Just posted screenshots of Brooke's texts admitting to using me, calling me names, and saying she was practice dating me to learn what to avoid. 287 followers in 2 days. Turns out Brooke had burned a lot of bridges. Update 4. Brooke assembled what I can only call a league of extraordinary exes. Seriously, she somehow united 5 of her ex-boyfriends into a group chat called Justice for Brooke. How do I know? Because one of them, Tyler, sent me screenshots. "Dude, she's lost it," his message said. "She wants us to ruin your life because you're dating Daphne." I said I was busy, and she threatened to tell my current girlfriend about that time I cried during The Notebook. I did not cry during The Notebook. It was allergies. The texts from their group chat were incredible. "Brooke, he needs to pay for humiliating me." X1, "Didn't you dump me at my birthday party?" "That's not relevant, Tyler." X2, "Wait, you told me I was the only one you ever loved. You told me that too." Guys, she said that to all of us. I'm only here because she said there'd be free beer. Brooke, focus. This isn't about the past. You literally called us all here to talk about your ex. He's currently dating my best friend. Didn't you tell him he was temporary? Whose side are you on? The group chat dissolved within 3 hours. Tyler and Josh actually reached out to apologize for her behavior. Antoine sent me a friend request on Facebook with a message. "Bullet dodged, brother." Meanwhile, Marcus, remember him from the restaurant, sent me the most awkward email I've ever received. "Hey Jeremy, I didn't know she was your girlfriend when she asked me out. She said you were her gay best friend who was going through an identity crisis. I'm sorry about everything. Also, she made me pay for a $90 dinner and then told me I kiss like a golden retriever. I don't know what that means, but it didn't sound like a compliment. Marcus." I bought Marcus lunch the next day. We're cool now. Update 5. Brooke's next move was somehow both more and less dramatic than expected. She showed up at my apartment complex at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday, absolutely hammered, with a Bluetooth speaker blasting Taylor Swift's "We Are Never Getting Back Together" on repeat. But here's the thing. She got the address wrong. She was at the building next door screaming at some random dude's window, "I know you're up there with her, Jeremy." The guy, apparently named Carl, opened his window. "Lady, I don't know no Jeremy, and I'm up here with my husband." "Stop lying, Jeremy." Carl's husband joined him. "Should we call the cops?" "I'm calling the cops. On Jeremy for theft." "Theft of what?" "My best friend and my dignity." Margaret, my neighbor, was watching from her window and FaceTimed me the whole thing. We watched Brooke argue with Carl and his husband for 20 minutes before security showed up. The security guard knew exactly who she was. "Ma'am, Jeremy lives in building B. This is building C." "Then why didn't anyone tell me?" You didn't ask. You just started yelling. She tried to storm over to my actual building, but the security guard stopped her. You're banned from the property, remember? From when you tried to dump paint on that car last month? That was performance art. It was vandalism, and it wasn't even his car. Apparently, she'd tried to pour paint on what she thought was my Honda Civic. It was actually a Honda Accord, belonging to the property manager, who had cameras pointed right at it. Final update. Last week was Daphne's PhD defense. She killed it, obviously. I was there in the audience, proud as hell. Her research on renewable energy storage is literally groundbreaking. Brooke decided this was the moment for her grand finale. She showed up in a white dress to a PhD defense, because apparently she only owns white dresses for important occasions where she's not the center of attention. She sat in the back, dramatically sighing every time someone asked Daphne a question. When Daphne started her presentation, Brooke stood up. I have something to say. The entire academic panel turned to look at her. Daphne's advisor, Dr. Harrison, raised an eyebrow. This is a closed defense. Who are you? I'm the victim here. Of sustainable energy. Of betrayal. That woman, she pointed at Daphne, stole my boyfriend. Dr. Harrison looked at Daphne. Is this person well? Security was already moving, but Brooke wasn't done. She only got this far because she seduced my placeholder. I mean boyfriend. Ma'am, Dr. Harrison interrupted. This is a doctoral defense on lithium-ion alternatives in grid storage systems. Unless you have peer-reviewed concerns about the methodology, you need to leave. I have concerns about her ethics in battery technology. Brooke tried to storm the podium but tripped on her dress. Security helped her up and escorted her out while she screamed, "This isn't over. I have his HBO password too." Daphne finished her defense, passed with flying colors. The committee actually apologized for the interruption. One professor said it was the most entertaining defense he'd attended in 30 years. Later that evening, we were celebrating at a bar with Daphne's cohort when my phone rang. It was Brooke's mom. Jeremy, this is Patricia. I'm calling to apologize. Brooke is getting help. We found out she's been off her anxiety medication for months because she thought it was dimming her sparkle. She also owes money to 6 different friends and has been banned from 2 gyms for harassing members. We're handling it. I thanked her and hung up. Felt weird to celebrate someone hitting rock bottom, even Brooke. But then the texts started coming in from unknown numbers. You won. Hope you're happy. Daphne will leave you too. You're still a 6, maybe a 5 actually. Enjoy your boring life with your boring girlfriend. I'm moving to Portland. That's right, I'm leaving. You'll never see me again. This is the last text. Okay, this is the last text. I meant it this time. 43 messages total. I blocked the numbers. Daphne and I have been together 6 months now. She's brilliant, funny, and actually sees me as a person, not a placeholder. We're moving in together next month, into a new place, obviously. Fresh start. Brooke did move to Portland. According to Instagram, she's now a spiritual life coach, teaching workshops on releasing toxic attachments and finding your inner goddess. The irony is not lost on me. Oh, and remember that app I was developing? Sold it to a tech company last month for enough to put a down payment on a house. Turns out this solid 6 with no ambition had some tricks up his sleeve. Daphne says I'm a 10, but more importantly, she says I'm kind, funny, and make the best pancakes she's ever had. I'll take that over being someone's placeholder any day. To everyone asking if I regret how it went down, no. Brooke showed me who she was, and I believed her. Daphne showed me what I actually deserved, and that's someone who sees my worth beyond some arbitrary number scale. Sometimes the best revenge isn't elaborate schemes or public humiliation. Sometimes it's just living your best life with someone who actually values you. Though I did change all my streaming passwords. I'm not that much of a saint. P.S. Carl and his husband from Building C invited us to their wedding next month. Apparently my crazy ex's lawn tantrum was what made Carl realize life's too short not to marry the person who makes you laugh. So, thanks for that, Brooke. P.P.S. Marcus is dating a girl from accounting now. She thinks the golden retriever thing is hilarious and bought him a shirt that says, "I kiss like a good boy." They're perfect for each other.